it was, just a little slipperier than before.
Unfortunately, slippery got you a little bit in terms of your suspension problems. Tap the wall and you're out.
Yeah, I don't know, the left front, it went in the warm-up, and today I radioed in saying my left front's just gone, and I just had zero grip on it, and it just slid up the track. I was trying to get it into the pits, and a couple of corners to go, the thing just didn't turn, and we just went straight and damaged the rear suspension, and that was it. So, yeah, I don't know what happened.
All right, Alex Lloyd out of the race.
Well, and you saw while they were talking that Hideki Muto came in and made a pit stop, so he has got fresh tires and fuel. Meanwhile, there is your race leader, Scott Dixon, and the gap is widening now as we look at the battle for Tony Kanaan, as he has got mirrors full of the 22 of Justin Wilson.
And talk about a driver that can attack on a street course, Justin Wilson. But when you think about Tony Kanaan, the experience he has and the ability to drive around a road course and the improvement of Andretti Autosport this year, again, another driver that I feel is very confident in what's going on. And he's talked about the addition of having Ryan Hunter-Reay join that team. And both their driving styles are similar, their setups are similar, and that they think that between working with the cars on both of their setups, they will have an improvement on making these cars faster throughout the season.
Well, Justin looks like he is faster right now, just can't find the right position to set him up for the pass. He is all over him. That's through turns 11 and 12.
And what Justin's doing is actually just giving him some notice, making him aware that he's here. Watch, he'll do the slice move, try to get underneath him. He takes a different run coming out of 13, 14, catches the draft, get up to 6th gear, probably about 160 miles an hour, try to slingshot on the inside. Will he get it done?
Remember that? Oh, and see how slick that paint is on that runway? He manages to hold on and takes over the spot. And there's a Graham Rahal, and all of a sudden he peels off and is coming down pit lane. So Rahal in 15th position for his first stop. Rick?
And remember, this is the first pit stop with this Sarah Fisher Dollar General team. They come in, they're making one minor adjustment on the front right wing. They make that. Remember, they've been searching for a good setup all weekend. Clean stop, and they're away.
We can tell you Alex Tagliani also made his pit stop, 11.1 on the clock. There is Sarah Fisher, team owner. She'll be back in the car when it's on the ovals. And we already mentioned the fact Graham will be driving this car one more time at least. Coming down the front stretch, there is your race leader, Scott Dixon, as he has now led 17 of our 22 laps that we have completed. His lead is now 6.6 seconds over Will Power. So while he continues in control, there's still a lot of racing to go. Stay with us here at St. Pete.
Here we go. The yellow and white car of Hinchcliffe gets the early jump, and he's going to lead the field down into turn number 1. They spread out 4 and 5 wide behind him, and now we have contact. Hinchcliffe makes contact in his runoff. Here we go back to green. Vernay's going to take a look to the inside of the Lucas Oil car, and he's going to get him even before they get to turn number 1.
Checkered flag is out. J.K. Vernay.
And that was yesterday's Indy Lights race, and J.K. Vernay really ran away from the field. At one point, he had a 27-second lead before a yellow came out, and he just dominated. He was putting on 2 seconds a lap on everybody, so congratulations to J.K. What's going to happen here is there is Scott Dixon, as he is looking for his first win here in the streets of St. Petersburg. He's finished second here twice. He's approaching Graham Rahal to try and put Rahal a lap down. Oh, no, we've got a crash. Takuma Sato is into the barriers at turn number 4.
Exact same place where Dario Franchitti hit the wall the other day. Very bumpy street circuit we talked about. It just takes one minor slip, and we're only talking about a turn-in point, changing it maybe by about 6 or 8 inches. You can be on a certain bump and lose the front end, and off you go into the tire barrier. Now let's watch in this replay. A little bit of a defensive line he's doing right now, and that causes the arc to be way too tight for him to be able to get through, and the 14 car Vitor Mira slides through on the inside. So he'll go back and rethink that one. You can see how the tires are just locked up and into the tire barrier.
And that was a battle for 9th on board with Dan Weldon. He's right behind these two.
And watch, he sees everything that's going on. The cars on the left are on the right portion of the racetrack. Very difficult, even in prime conditions, to make that tight turn for Sato. And remember, he crashed in that very first race back in Brazil, Jamie Little, and he didn't get past turn 1.
So this was really his first official race. Now, unfortunate for him, it's been 5 laps. He has been telling his team, my left front is gone. I need to pit. They said, stay out. We got to stay in our window, stay out. Every lap, guys, he's been begging to come in, and unfortunately, it ends in the tires.
Well, and that'll be the communication that they will go over, and maybe next time. Remember, he's a former Formula One driver. Really didn't start racing until the age of 20. By 23, was running in F1. And now finds himself over here in the IndyCar series, making the big adjustments from having all those wonderful heavy-duty brakes.
Well, you know, we talked about that the other day, you know, when we met with him, you know, 20 years of age to start. A lot of these drivers now are 19, 20 getting into IndyCars. He had 91 F1 starts. His best finish was actually at the U.S. Grand Prix, and he finished 3rd over there. Just a very likable driver, and I think he's got great things coming in this series once he can get to the finish line.
Pit lane is closed right now, so everybody will continue around one more time. That will give us an opportunity to step aside for a quick break. And here's one more look at Takuma Sato. It just didn't work out today in those beautiful Lotus green colors. As you can see, the leaders are pulling down pit lane. Let's go to Rick DeBrule.
Marco Andretti brings the car, and they're making no wing adjustments. They are making some tire adjustments. He's off, Vince.
It's the 9 car, Scott Dixon, your lap leader so far. They came in, took off the reds, and put on the blacks. Elio Castroneves in the box right behind him did the same.
Oh, it's going to get tight on that exit. On board with Elio. Everybody sort of sorts it out. No contact.
The pit lane is still very wet, especially the pit box. As you can see, the tires spin so much when the drivers drop the car off the jacks and let the clutch out. All that horsepower going to the rear wheels, but just no traction.
There's our Apex Brazil race off pit road. You can see the Castroneves picked up one. Will Power loses one. Ryan Hunter-Reay, the big winner in this, as he picks up 3 spots to move into 4th. And there's the rest of the top 10 cars on the race off pit road.
Oh, we got a bit of a parking lot happening here, so hopefully nobody stalls their cars. The guys coming around the turn right there will be jamming on the brakes and hopefully not ending up into anybody. I guess it was because the truck off to your left-hand side was getting off the course for some reason, and very slow crawl. And that would be the track sweeper, I'm going to gather. He probably didn't realize that even going slow, IndyCars get around there in a very fast pace.
And trust me, he's going to win the argument between him and any IndyCar. Yeah. And there's also a wrecker out there as well. See, off to the left side there on the hook is Takuma Sato's car, as that too could have been part of the issue as well. Now remember, we told you about Vitor Meira. Well, he started 17th. He stayed out. Guess who's got the race lead? That's right. ESPN's coverage of the IZOD IndyCar Series at St. Petersburg is presented by IZOD, the official apparel sponsor of the IZOD IndyCar Series, available at Macy's. And Firestone, the first name in Indy racing. Well, Vitor Meira has yet to make a pit stop, but has cycled his way through. And now being given a wave around past the pace car. I'm trying to figure this one out. And we're being shown 1 to go. And yes, he is the race leader. And that vehicle right in front of him is Romancini. He is trying to get back around onto the lead lap. And now they're saying that the 14's going to have to slow down a little bit.
I wondered where he was going.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, back last year at the Indianapolis 500, a frightening moment for everybody and a very painful one for Vitor Meira as he and Rafa Matos get together into turn 1.
Turn 1, Indianapolis, about 230 miles an hour, and not intentionally done, but you can see what happens when 2 wheels touch. And that was a scenario. Now, this was back here in Brazil, the very first race, and Vitor Meira making a great move underneath Rafa to get that hometown advantage and being able to stand on the podium.
And Rafa Matos, again, will be right behind him in second place. Now, they are going to have to reorganize this start because I was wondering what was going on, because all of a sudden he went firing past, and now he's going to have to hold up and wait for the field to come back and catch up to him. So that'll give us a chance to squeeze in another quick break. Stay with us, and we'll return for the restart here in St. Petersburg. Well, the NASCAR Nationwide Series heads to Nashville next week, where someone will walk away with the Gibson Les Paul Trophy, and hopefully it'll stay in one piece. There's been 5